Today, we're diving into one of the most intriguing and mysterious texts out there, the Book of Enoch. This ancient collection of writings is packed with stories about fallen angels, giant offspring, and visions of the heavenly realms. If you're into ancient mysteries, religious texts, or just love a good story, stick around because this one's a wild ride. So, what exactly is the Book of Enoch? Well, it's an ancient Jewish text that dates back to the 2nd century BCE, around the time of the Maccabees. It's named after Enoch, who, according to the Bible, was Noah's great-grandfather. The Book of Enoch isn't included in the official Bible for most Christian churches, but it holds a special place in the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, which considers parts or all of it to be inspired scripture. The Book of Enoch is most commonly referred to as 1 Enoch, and it's primarily available in the Ethiopic language. There are actually 2 other books with the same name, 2 Enoch, which survives only in Old Slavonic, and 3 Enoch, which is in Hebrew. Scholars use these numbers to tell the different texts apart. Now, let's get to the juicy part. The Book of Enoch tells the story of a group of fallen angels known as the Watchers, or the Grigori. These angels rebelled against heaven and descended to earth, where they mated with human women and produced a race of giants called the Nephilim. Sound familiar? It's a wild expansion of the brief mention in Genesis 6:1-2. These fallen angels realized they were in big trouble and went to Enoch, asking him to plead with God on their behalf. The rest of the book follows Enoch's journey to heaven, where he receives visions and revelations. It even includes some mind-blowing descriptions of heavenly bodies and what some believe are instructions for building an ancient astronomical instrument. Traditionally, the Book of Enoch was thought to be a unified work from the Maccabean era. However, many scholars now believe it's a compilation of several distinct sections. For instance, the Book of Watchers is considered the core around which the rest of 1 Enoch was built. The Book of Parables, which talks about a son of man and themes of final judgment, might be from the late 1st century BCE, though some think it's influenced by early Christian ideas. There's also the Book of Dreams, which seems to narrate Israel's history up to the Maccabean revolt, suggesting it was written around that time. Before fragments of 1 Enoch were found among the Dead Sea Scrolls at Qumran, there was debate about its origins. Some thought it might be a Christian creation because of references to a Messiah and the Son of Man, but these terms also appear in Jewish texts from around the same period. The Ethiopian Church believes its complete Ethiopic version is the original, while others think it's based on earlier Aramaic texts. Most scholars today agree that the earliest parts of 1 Enoch likely date back to the 3rd century BCE, making it a fascinating blend of ancient Jewish traditions and later editorial work. Interestingly, earlier scholars like Luca, Hoffman, Vies, and Malik believed the Book of Enoch was written in the 2nd century CE by Jewish Christians to promote Christian beliefs. However, more recent research by experts like Charlesworth and others suggests it's a Jewish work from the 1st century CE, likely before 70 CE. And after the Council of Yomnia around 90 CE, the Book of Enoch was no longer considered part of Jewish scriptures. Early Christian theologians had mixed feelings about it. Around 200 CE, Tertullian claimed that the Jews rejected the Book of Enoch because it contained prophecies about Christ. Interestingly, the New Testament itself references Enoch. Jude 1:14-15 quotes Enoch directly, saying, "Behold, the Lord comes with 10,000s of his saints to execute judgment upon all." This matches Enoch 1-9 from the Ethiopian version, where it similarly prophesies about divine judgment. In the early days of Christianity, many church fathers like Justin Martyr, Irenaeus, Origen, Clement of Alexandria, and Tertullian viewed the Book of Enoch as inspired because of its citation in Jude. However, not everyone agreed. Some later theologians questioned its authenticity and even the inclusion of Jude in the Bible because of its connection to Enoch. By the 4th century, the Book of Enoch was mostly excluded from the Christian biblical canon, except in the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, which still considers it sacred. For a long time, the Book of Enoch was thought lost outside Ethiopia. This changed in the 17th century when Nicolas Claude Fabry de Pius Water book claimed to match the Enoch text quoted by Jude and early church fathers. However, skepticism about its authenticity persisted, with some considering it a forgery. Then, in 1773, Scottish explorer James Bruce returned from Abyssinia, modern-day Ethiopia, with 3 copies of the GEEZ version of the Book of Enoch. These copies, held in prestigious libraries, were largely ignored until the early 19th century. Silvestre de Sacy published extracts with Latin translations, sparking renewed interest. European scholars believed the GEEZ version was translated from Greek, which in turn was translated from Aramaic or possibly Hebrew. Ethiopian scholars, however, argue that the GEEZ text is the original, especially since it's the only complete version found so far. They point to the opening sentence of Enoch in GEEZ as potentially the oldest written sentence in human history. The first full translation from the Bodleian Library's Ethiopic manuscript was published in 1821 by Richard Lawrence, who later became Archbishop of Cashel. This translation went through several editions and became the basis for future studies. Despite a few flawed attempts at translation in the mid-19th century, the most reliable edition emerged in 1851, edited by Dillman, with a thorough translation and commentary in 1853. The Book of Enoch continued to fascinate scholars, with notable additions like R. H. Charles's 1912 publication further solidifying its academic presence. Through these efforts, the Book of Enoch has been preserved and studied, providing a unique glimpse into ancient Jewish and early Christian thought. And the Book of Enoch is divided into 5 major sections, each with its own unique content and focus. The first is the Book of Watchers, which tells the story of the fallen angels and their offspring, the Nephilim. Next is the Book of Parables, also known as the Similitudes of Enoch, which includes visions of the Messiah and themes of final judgment. The third section, the Book of the Heavenly Luminaries, often shortened to the Book of Luminaries, delves into astronomical and calendrical observations. The fourth part, the Dream Visions, provides a symbolic vision of Israel's history. Finally, the Epistle of Enoch offers Enoch's exhortations and wisdom, emphasizing moral teachings and prophecies. So, that's the journey of the Book of Enoch, how it was revered, rejected, lost, and eventually rediscovered. Its story is as intriguing as the content within its pages, bridging ancient traditions and modern scholarship. Stay tuned for more explorations of ancient texts and their profound impact on history and culture. And thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more historical content. Stay tuned for upcoming videos, and if you have any interesting topics you'd like us to cover, drop them in the comment section.